Hello everybody, back here again for our vlog a day. And today is Saturday the 2nd, and today was a lovely, beautiful day to be alive. Got up this morning earlier than we should have. My wife had decided last night that she wanted to be off the boat at 8 a.m. departure time, so we'd go get a bunch of stuff done before she had to head back to the ship to get her massage, which I think was set up for 12:30. I don't know, I think it's what it was. But so I told her, I said, you're not going to get off the boat at 8. Like, you're up super late tonight. There's no way it's going to happen. But that's what she wanted. So I got up a little earlier than she did, which wasn't a big deal. And I'd kicked the idea around. Depending on what time I got up, I was going to wait and do my run while she was taking her massage. So we'd both come back to the boat together, and then I would run then. But I was up way too early and said to hell with it, and just got up and went to the up to the deck and got my run in. So I got my run done, came back to the room, grabbed myself some pineapple and watermelon like I do every morning. Got back to the room, and her alarm had went off and she fell right back asleep. But in the process of me moving through the room, I ended up her phone got knocked off the bed. When it fell, it startled her. So then she woke up, and then she's like, actually awake still. I was up, right back to my run and stuff, and jumped in the shower. So she got up, got around, and then we went up to go get breakfast. And it was like, we get off the ship at 8 a.m. I think when we get off, we got to the galley to eat breakfast at like 8 a.m. So we was like, let's just go ahead and have breakfast. We're not in a hurry, but we got that done. From there, we headed back to the room, grabbed the stuff we needed to take off for the day, and we got down, checked out of the boat, got off the ship, and I reached in my pocket to grab my money to pay for the golf cart we rent every time we're in Bimini, and realized I didn't bring any cash. I left it all in the safe. So I asked her, I said, hey, do you have any cash? She goes, yeah, I probably got like $200. I'm like, cool, that's plenty, because golf carts, anywhere from 70 to $100, depending on what mood they're in that day when you get there. So I'm like, that's plenty. We got plenty of extra cash. And then when she goes back for the massage, I go grab some more cash. So she looks in her purse real quick, and she has like $27 or $37. She has nothing in there. I'm like, shit. Okay, so I'm gonna run up to the back to the room. She headed on over to the tram. I left my lawn chair and my water bottle there, so I had to carry that all around. And then I was off the boat for like 90 seconds, and then had to go all back through security again, X-ray machine, or all that shit. So got to the metal detector stuff, everything, ran back up to the room, went ahead and grabbed my cash real quick, and from there, headed back out, met her at the tram. We jumped on the tram together, headed over, first stop off the tram, grabbed herself a golf cart, and then basically drove around a little bit, just enjoying the island like we do. There's a spot opposite the beach club that on the other end of the island that we love to go to. It's a beautiful rock outcropping, and I think they've been bringing a bunch of sand in because they got hit by the storm pretty good, and they've been dumping a bunch of sand there to kind of rebuild that little part of the beach. But the thing we love most about that spot, besides it's beautiful, there's like a blowhole when the waves come in, it rushes up to the coquina rock and it makes this big spout of water. Well, they backfilled it with sand, and it's all now full. It used to be this big cave you actually swim underneath when the tide was high and stuff. If the tide was out, you could actually climb in there, and it was dry. I don't know what time the tide was. So that was covered up. So that was disappointing, but overall wasn't too bad. It's become a lot more popular spot with people. So unfortunately, not nearly as enjoyable as it has been in the past, but a deal with people wasn't a big deal. Wasn't in the world. So from there, went ahead, headed up what's called High Street. Went down it. There's a high road and a low road, basically. Stopped in a couple of spots out there. Just gorgeous. You're up on a bigger bank, so you can look down at the water more and see stuff. We saw a hammerhead through there a couple years ago. Absolutely, it's beautiful waters. So stopped there. There's a guy has a little shack set up, trying to sell drinks and stuff, and he came over trying to guilt us into buying drinks from him. Playing apparently, I guess, supposedly, the government charged him $8,000 a month to have his little shack on the beach, and I don't believe that. That's $266 a day at a 30-day month, and there's no way he's paying that because he's not making any money if that's the case. So who the hell knows, but it is what it is there. So we finally got him to leave. He just kept just bitching about the government and bitching all kinds of stuff, and really trying to guilt us into buying stuff for him. And I'm not buying booze from some dude who possibly makes his alcohol in the bathtub. So definitely was not my thing, but got him to leave fine. So we sat there and hung out and just enjoyed the beautiful weather and the beautiful sights. And then we headed over to another spot we like to go that
We call it the Hemingway spot. We love it a lot. Hung out there for a little while and chatted and talked a little bit. And from there, I wasn't really feeling great, but we went down to the other spot we was at and basically trying to figure out what time to get her back on the tram to get back to the ship on time. And we weren't certain if I dropped her at the gate if the tram would actually stop and let her on. So we decided, hell, let's go back to Beach Club. And when we know, because if you go to the first spot where we buy the carts, I don't know if the tram stops on the way back every time. So it would be like an out and back for her. If we go to the Beach Club, we know it may or may not stop there, but we know it'll take her straight back a lot quicker. So we had our Beach Club. She goes, let's just go ahead and go there now. We'll hang out at the Beach Club a little bit. I was like, cool. Got the Beach Club, and then I think she got confused a little on what time it was, because she literally got there. We were gonna hang out. We had about an hour, minimum half an hour, maybe an hour to hang out at the Beach Club, and she just said, well, the tram's gonna leave, so I'm gonna go on the tram right now. And I'm like, okay, cool. So she jumped on the tram real quick and headed back to the boat, which put her back to the ship earlier than she was. It was the lowest man in the world. So, but I was then on my own for the next few hours and hanging out there. And I hung out at the Beach Club for a little bit, talked to a handful of people, got myself a pina colada and whatever, just kind of chill out at the beach for a while. And then I jumped back in the golf cart, just driving around the island, killing time. And I already got my run in, so I didn't need to go back and run then. So went ahead and as I was driving around, I'd see people with the Virgin Cruise bracelets on, and if they were walking, I just stopped and asked them if they wanted to ride. And they're like, yeah, take us here, we're going, blah, blah. A lot of new people on the island first time, so I was able to drive them around different spots and kind of show them a few things and give a handful of rides to people here and there, which is always fun. Just, I'm out here by myself at this point, so just chilling out, having a good time, and end up back out there, had another cigar. There's a little island we'd like to go to off and on that we'll stop at that only is accessible without getting your feet wet during low tide, and it was high tide, so couldn't get there then, but was able to drive around different places, had a great time, saw a handful, a bit of an opening back there at the North Point I like a lot, so went and hung out there again, had myself a cigar there, so I just drove all over and saw the city, the little island, downtown area and stuff and whatnot, and really just enjoying myself. Ran back to Beach Club a couple times and just having time. Got back to the Beach Club where I had Wi-Fi, so I could reach out to my wife and ask her how she was doing. She decided after her massage that I guess they gave her like a oil treatment, whatever. They said to wait like a half an hour before they, of course, she washed it off. So she hung around the room a little bit, got a shower, and then decided she was going to just stay out on the ship. And I'm like, cool. So she just relaxed and just totally did a chill day on the ship. She ordered room service and everything, so worked out really well. I hung around again, in and out of the Beach Club, and just all over the island, just enjoying myself. Had like other people said, hey, there's a bunch of sharks down here by the scuba boats, the snorkel boats, not scuba, sorry, snorkel boats. And fishermen went out and brought in probably, look at about 200 yellow snappers. Like, they had a bunch of fish. As they're gutting them, they're chucking them in the water, the birds were after them, and there was 25, maybe 50 bull sharks, and one was massive. Like, his body was wider than my shoulders. Like, this thing was just a big ass bull shark, and he was getting some good old guts out of those fish, so they were having a good time. So that was cool to see. Watched that a little bit. Just overall chilling out. Ran back to the Beach Club again, talked to a bunch of people and stuff, and just having a good time. Watching a couple rent a jet ski, and they had no balance. They were both uncoordinated, unbalanced people, and they kept falling off. After like 4 times I climbed back up on it, she gave up and just went and sat in the sand right at the edge of the water. And he got on the jet ski and he drove around, and he was like scared to get away from the beach. And the guy that rents the jet skis kept screaming, "Get the hell away from people, because there's people swimming right here. Like, what are you doing?" And he like putted around. He never went like even probably more than quarter throttle. Putted around for, I think it was like 11 minutes. It was no time at all, and didn't do anything of any fun at all. So he brought it back, and then the guy that rents them, I think, was like, "God, I hope people didn't see how lousy this was. They're gonna think these jet skis suck." So he jumped on it. He ripped around doing donuts and all kinds of dumb little tricks and stuff on it, and having a fun time, but trying to show off, hey, you can rent these. They're fun. The more fun this guy gave it. So had a good little chuckle at that. And then I had a little bit of the dessert there. Wasn't real hungry, but had a couple more drinks, of course, because I'm there, and ended up the guy asked me if I wanted dark rum in my pina colada. So I thought he meant like pina colada made with dark rum. I shot a dark rum on top of the pina colada, which was fine. It was like another $8. I didn't care, but it was all right, but it wasn't great. So from there, headed back to the ship, dropped off my cart, talked to a handful of people as we waited, jumped on the tram, got back to the boat, got through security. They had a hard time figuring out like why I'm bringing a lawn chair on. I'm like, I do it every time. Like, what are we doing? Like, I brought it on here before. I'm taking it back on again. So it's weird. But got in the room, chatted with my wife a little bit, had a little bit of time to chill out. So we kind of just hung around a little bit, talked. Time for dinner. We had 6:15 reservations for a Korean barbecue place called Gumbe. And I was like, cool. We got there, saw 3 of our other friends there, and they had a couple other people in our group that were coming, and trying to figure out if we were going to join them or not. And then Nicole and David got there, like, yeah, they're with us too, blah blah. So we have 7 at this table. You can fit up to 8. So, but yeah, we had a great time. David, Nicole, my wife, and I have all been there before. The other 3, this was our first time at Gumbe, so they had a much newer experience, which was rather interesting to see new people experience Gumbe. So we had squid, we had octopus, and pork cheeks or pork belly, we had ribs, all kinds of stuff. We had a really good meal. So had a great time. Played a little drinking game where you got to count, and you basically, the first person says 1, second person says 2, third person says clap. So 3, 6, 9. Anytime it ends with that, or the 3, 6, 9, you got to clap. So went around. Whoever loses, mess it up, has to drink a shot, and then we go on the next, and it keeps going back. Got down to 2 of us, and then basically he ended up winning. So it was his first time there, so he got to win the drinking game, which was fun. So we had a good time from that. We headed back out. Had a bunch of loot to spend still. We had like $501 to spend, so ended up over in the watch section. Bought myself another watch, and then had a little bit of money left to spend. Wife went and put it in the casino, into slot machines, and ended up with like, I don't know, 70 something, $80. We pulled out in actual cash that was free loot to us, so worked out good. She had fun playing the slot machine. We all laughed and joked, had a great time. We had a bunch of bar tab left, so I was doing some drinks, doing some out of my head, trying to figure out where we're at. And I asked the guy, so what's your most expensive shot here? Well, whiskey. And he has a Macallan 20, which is $400 a shot. And I'm like, well, I didn't have that much to spend on it. So I said, what about the next one? $105 for a shot of 18-year-old Macallan. And I'm like, yeah, maybe. So I thought about it, grabbed my little drink, did the math, had enough to buy 2 more drinks for some other people and go get the shot. So got up there, bought the 2 drinks and ordered the shot. And he goes, oh, I messed up. It's actually $78 for the Macallan 18, not 105. So now I've got like $22 more to spend. I'm like, oh, okay, I can figure it out. So I was able to get myself 2 more drinks that night and basically had a blast. We were in the dance club and all over the place, and just everybody's gambling, and the shopping centers were mad packed because everybody's trying to spend last their loot and buying all kinds of dumb stuff. But people got tattoos with loot and all kinds of funny things. So but yeah, had a blast, had a real good time. And then Karen headed up to bed early, getting ready and stuff. She had most of her stuff packed up, and then I headed up with her, finally wrapped it up for the night, and turned on one of my stand-up comedy shows that I downloaded off Netflix on my iPad, so I could just hit play, don't worry about signing the Wi-Fi and junk. And that noise helps put me to sleep, so I know what's gonna be said. So I treat the stand-up comedy kind of like I don't know, like white noise almost. So I had that going, and we wrapped it up and called it an evening. So that's all I got for right now. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Have yourself a safe and wonderful day. Thanks for watching.